How can I feel like a millionaire when I don't know what a millionaire feels like? That is the question we are covering today. Hi, I'm Rosie Blythe. I'm the author of The Princess Guide to Life, and on this channel we talk about everything from manifestation to books to money to dogs to boats, everything really. Today it's a manifestation one. So I recently made a video on robotic affirming and why I don't really believe in it, but it can still work. I had a comment from Sheena Parry 7765 who says, I could affirm to be a millionaire. I cannot feel that because I don't have a clue what feeling like a millionaire is like because I'm not one. She goes on, I'm assuming that you're a female, sorry if you're not. She goes on to say, you cannot feel something if you don't know what it feels like. However, I can easily say I am so happy and grateful to be a millionaire now. So thank you so much for your comment, which inspired this video. First of all, I think you've hit the nail on the head there, feeling happy and grateful. I think that's how most of us would feel if we were millionaires. So I think that's a really great way to do it. But this comment really got me thinking, because how do any of us manifest anything that we haven't experienced? And most of what we're manifesting is stuff that we haven't experienced yet. So there might be some exceptions. Maybe you want to manifest perfect health because you're currently ill, but you have been healthy in the past. So you have that cellular memory that like, oh yes, I do know what it feels like to be healthy. Or, I don't know, going back to, a feeling of youthful vitality. Remember how it feels to be a child full of energy running around. So you can remember that and you can be like, okay, I can get back to that feeling. But so much else, even if you're manifesting an ex back, you maybe don't want to actually manifest that exact relationship again because that relationship ended, probably for reasons on both of your parts. So you want to manifest a new version of that person, a new version of that relationship. So again, it's something you haven't yet experienced. So my initial response to this was, okay, so how do actors do it? Because they have to play so many different parts that are probably, in some cases very far removed from their lives. They have to access all kinds of emotions and feelings that they don't necessarily feel themselves. So actors are always talking out there about how much fun it is to play parts that are really different from themselves. So like a really nice, sweet person gets to have so much fun playing a villain because they're like, all of those like nasty, vicious, lethal parts of themselves that don't kind of get to come out, they get to express them, which it does sound really fun, doesn't it? But you've still got to find that inside yourself. You've got to find that nasty side who's like, yeah, I'm going to do evil things. You have to find it somewhere in you. I think actors get to play with this. Really, part of the fun of acting is that you get to, if you're an actor who lives in LA and has quite a sheltered life, someone who, maybe they've been to acting school, or they get to play these parts of, an astronaut, someone being chased by dinosaurs, or a criminal psychologist, all these parts that are really separate from their lives. They get to express that feeling. Bruce Willis is not a New York cop shinning up and down lift shafts. They have to play these parts that are very different from their everyday lives. Emily Blunt, she doesn't know how it feels to be living in a world where monsters will eat you if you make a noise. She doesn't know how that feels to be like, oh, I've got to be quiet or I'll die. But she has to act that convincingly. So I'm guessing that she probably kind of goes, well, I've been frightened before, so I can tap into that feeling of being frightened and act that. And then I will act convincingly. Zendaya doesn't know how it feels to swing through the air with Spider-Man. She probably gets a little bit more of a feeling of it being suspended on stuff and like physically doing the stunts. I guess this is a very law of attraction thing. I remember like in The Secret it was like, oh, if you're single but you don't want to be, you've got to make room in your wardrobe for your partner's clothes to go. You've got to sleep on one side of the bed, and it's all very about actions. And method acting, there is sort of different definitions of method acting. Some people describe it as when you literally live as that thing. So you get the people who like will go and they'll wear their character's clothes all the time, they'll speak in their accent and they won't come out of character in between takes, and they'll go and sleep in a barn if that's what their character does, or they'll sit in a wheelchair all the time if their character is in a wheelchair, and things like this. But the other kind of definition of method acting is that it's to do with tapping into memories or experiences that you have. So for instance, I don't know, if you're playing the part of a character who is sad because their horse died, You don't have a horse, so you don't know what it's like to have a horse who dies, but you have been sad before, so you think about, that time you didn't get to go to a party you wanted to go to or something, I don't know. And you're like, you tap into that feeling of sadness because emotions are kind of universal. There's sadness, there's rage, there's joy, there's all these things. So what I'm saying is there isn't a special secret emotion that is exclusive to millionaires or rock stars or people who've married their soulmates. Like, every emotion that those people can feel, you can feel too. So it's literally about tapping into what do you think you would feel like if you had that thing that you really want. And there isn't a right or wrong answer. There isn't like, oh, sorry, you failed in your guess at how it feels to be a millionaire. Because if that's how you think you would feel as a millionaire, then that's the right answer. Because there are so many different interpretations of this. For instance, one person, if they're thinking like, oh, if I was a millionaire, if I were a millionaire, let's be grammatically correct, I'd go shopping every day and I'd get so many beauty treatments and I'd be driving my expensive car and everyone would look at me and know I'm successful. There might be someone else whose idea of being a millionaire is like, right, okay, I can buy a really remote house and I can fill it with bookcases and books and cats and I'm just going to sit and read all day and drink cups of tea and have like muffins. And that is my idea of heaven and what I would do if I were a millionaire. So you can see those two different things, they have very different vibes, but they're both being a millionaire. So it's down to you what your version of being a millionaire would feel like, or being whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. So there isn't like a generic millionaire vibe. It's whatever you decide that feeling is. Anyway, I hope this video helps. I've enjoyed talking about this today. I think it's a really interesting topic. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. And thank you for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.